aka Foxy, and I'm joined today by the rest of the Foxy Bros crew.
Hey, what's up? Dom Kelly here. Follow me on Instagram, DK Dom Kelly. I'm just your everyday kind of, nerd, movie buff, TV buff, and like my comics and books too. So that's about it, really.
What's the story, everybody? Eric Connolly here, aka Rock On Brother on Twitch, Xbox and PS4 variety streamer. How are we all today? Pretty much if you want to follow me on Instagram, Rock On Brother as well, and you can keep up to date with all the streams that I'll be doing. And we're here with
Carl, aka Overlord Carl, also another Foxy Bro, original. Another Twitch streamer. I do a lot of Twitch with Rock On Brother, playing some Realm Royale, which has become really good. Should get into it, everyone.
Now, after you're done plugging all your stuff. Now,
Bit of a rocky start there with that one, but like, sure, why not?
they're plugging their stuff, so they have to. It's part of the deal, you get to plug your stuff.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
anyway, it's been a fun week. Like last week we got to talk about Joker. We all enjoyed it very, very much.
Of course.
This is Carl's first show with us.
Yeah,
So,
I was working. Fuck you all.
Language.
Dedication to the
Ouch.
cause, man.
Jesus.
I gotta work.
But yeah, so this week we decided fuck it, we're going to have a conversation, and this is something that Carl's interested in.
Whoop whoop.
Because we're going to talk about Lord of the Rings. Now, I don't know if any of you also caught it, like, obviously some of the games are fantastic, but they announced a series, a live-action series, recently.
Yeah, I don't really know much about it. Like, I hear it's supposed to be obviously before the events of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit.
It's set in the Second Age, so it'll cover. It's supposed to span 1,000 years of the Second Age, or something like that, 3,000, something like that.
1,000 years,
Yeah.
jeez. That's
But it's, as far as I know, the first season has like, I think 10 episodes as a starter, and then gradually with each season, more and more episodes will get added to it.
oh,
Well,
and
what's
it's
it going to be on? Is it a Netflix original?
No, it's
or
Amazon.
Amazon.
Amazon it's the biggest TV or biggest budget any film, TV, game has
Stuff.
ever had, and it's literally gonna be so big. It's gonna be actually filmed in New Zealand, where Lord of the Rings was filmed, and The
Nice.
Hobbit. So they are sticking with the original locations.
so they're splashing out for this thing.
Yeah, they're splashing out big time.
Who's in it?
Nobody really knows who the
Yes.
cast is, but it's looking. The only person who it looks like is going to be returning is Gandalf. It's going to be Ian McKellen as himself.
Well, that would make sense. I mean,
Nobody knows his age, so
Yeah, I mean, like there's the Wizards of the Lord of the Rings mythology and stuff like that.
5 wizards.
Yeah, 5 wizards.
The 2 blue, no one knows their names.
Yeah, I know. There's,
Radagast the brown,
yeah,
Saruman the white, and then Gandalf the grey.
Yeah.
AKA
Radagast played by what was it? Sylvester McCoy, who was
Sylvester
also like the
Doctor Who.
7th Doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7th Doctor. Had that like question mark and like the little bowler hat and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's him.
Got replaced in the movie by can never remember the man's name, but no, he's a good actor. But it's just like I say, especially as well as that with that Lord of the Rings show coming out, that is gonna fill a lot of kind of people in for the whole Game of Thrones filled in kind of thing.
It's basically, if you think of it, it's like Star Wars. Or if you think, like, what I mean is, like, they bring out, like,
And they're going backwards.
not well, no, but like,
Think they're going backwards, then eventually may go forward, and then,
No.
we'll go back for
2
it.
steps back.
yeah,
one
they
step
just bring
forward.
it. But the thing is instead of going, like, oh, we're going on the big screen, we're going live streaming. You know what I mean?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, that's because it's become more popular.
Although the good thing about this is it leads all the way up to the last alliance where where Isildur takes her in Sauron, so we get to know who Sauron is, and you know how like in the Lord of the Rings you see, "Be gone, servant of Morgoth." You finally get to see who Morgoth is instead of having to read it. If you're not big into books.
Well, yeah, there was what was it? It was the Balrog of Morgoth or something like that.
Balrog is just a creature from the demon world, like
And
from the ancient world.
there's multiple of them, isn't there?
There is two of which we know of, which is the one that Gandalf fought and killed, and then there's another one who was like the king of like the main Balrog, who was in the Lord of the Rings Battle of Middle Earth 2 game. Like he's in the mods. They brought him in. They brought him into it. I can't remember his name.
Are they all very
He's
similar
like
in appearance?
no, this one's like it's like a kind of more of a purpley blue flame.
Right.
And he's fucking huge. Like he's massive. Like still kind of same thing as Balrog, where you can use the fire whip, swords, and all that stuff. But it's just he's bigger and badder.
But what is the deal with those Balrogs? They're like I think it was like they were just corrupted former wizards or of some form or something
No,
like that.
they're just demons.
They're just demons?
They're just demons summoned by dark powers, like of Morgoth and by Sauron.
Carol, can I ask you a question?
No,
Do you go outside of that?
I do.
You sure? Like, I know you say that you go to work, but like, what's work for you? Is it just going on the internet and
Gorging on all the Lord of the Rings.
Bring it in.
Like, I
Bring
enjoy Lord of the Rings, but damn, man.
This is from playing the video games and watching people on YouTube and stuff, and like just literally learning the lore of Lord of the Rings.
You got bet into them, you did.
Yes,
Well,
I did.
I've done very similar
He
myself.
Niall even went on and used my YouTube account to re-watch the lore videos I've watched on certain characters, and they actually give you this amazing insight, and it's only like 15 minutes, not even. Some of them.
Drastic
I
detail.
think I've probably come across a few of them. From what I've heard as well, that like Aragon or Strider is completely different in the books.
His name.
It like in the books compared to the movie. 'Cause
Yes.
in the books he's supposed to be like a real stealthy character, sticking to the shadows, and only really kind of coming out when he needs
The movie, there's a huge flaw in the movie. Do you know in the Return of the King when Elrond brings him the sword?
Yeah.
In the books, he's had that through the whole actual journey. And like he was given it long time before.
Well, he
that.
inherited it.
No, it was Shard, and then
No, but
Elrond,
he inherited
Elrond
it.
just made it, reforged it, and like it's really funny, like when you actually see it, and he's like in the movie, he's like the flame, the shards have been reforged and all this shit, and you're like, yeah, but in the book you've had this a hell of a long time, mate. This isn't the first time you've held it.
What is the deal with the sword? Obviously, it's like Elven steel, and each Elven steel has its own kind of uniqueness to it. Like, sorry.
It's just it's like an antique passed down through like all the.
Well, it's like Sting. Sting has the ability that'll glow blue when enemies are near. Is it specifically enemies or specifically orcs?
Orcs and goblins.
Orcs and goblins.
Yeah.
And then from the likes of the Hobbit, you had Thor and Oakenshield had, what was it, Goblin Slayer or something like that? Or
Goblin Cleaver.
Goblin Cleaver, that was
And
it.
Gandalf has Glambriel.
Glambriel, that's a nice name.
Yeah, it's called the Foe Hammer.
Oh, hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't really see a lot of elves using hammers. It's always kind of blades and bows.
It's blades and bows.
Daggers.
And daggers.
Oh, that's a blade.
Yeah, but there's a blade.
The hammers are mainly used by
Well, you had,
dwarves.
Legolas had, what was his, they were just called like white knives or something.
Yeah,
like
they're
that.
just dual swords basically.
They're dead looking things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he has his bow, like his famous bow, which then he upgrades to a Mirkwood bow.
The one moment though that I just showed from like the Fellowship of the Ring, not once for me anyway, I never once seen like Legolas using a blade, and then it comes out and like halfway near the end of the second when he whips them out, and you're like, where have you been hiding them the whole damn time?
They're actually in his
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's in the
like-
quiver.
in
Like,
his
but that's
quiver.
what I mean. Is like in the first one, you never seen him use it.
Yeah.
He's always just like, oh, I'm just your ranged character.
There was a lot of lore I found out about like after watching Lord of the Rings where it goes over a lot of people's head, and it went over my head when I first watched it. It's like in the Fellowship of the Ring when they're trying to make their way over the mountain, everyone's there struggling, they're get through the snow, and Legolas is just
Walking
stand on
on
top of
top.
it.
Do you know what that is?
That's part of like being an elf or
Elf,
something.
yeah.
Yeah.
Extremely
That
light-footed.
yeah. So they have like a feather touch or
Yeah.
something like that. So that's why they can stand
How
on
we can
snow,
stand on snow, but everyone else is like,
sinking into it.
Come
Like,
on, guys, keep up with
it's also kind
Fuck
of
yourself.
like it also
Language.
kind of shows.
So,
Like, he wasn't really supposed to, like, I know he's supposed to be. You've read The Hobbit, and
I've read
was he actually in The Hobbit as much as he is in the movie, or is he in like maybe one chapter and then you don't see him after that?
I think it's just a chapter he's in.
He's not actually.
I don't know.
He's
So they
mentioned.
I don't think he is in it actually.
So they just really kind of just for the movie created this
Come on.
weird
I
love
think for the
triangle.
movie they just threw him in.
He is in the Lord of the Rings. He's actually in the Lord of the Rings books.
Oh,
in
of
the
course.
Hobbit, he's actually mentioned.
There's more reference than.
He's he's referenced into it, but he
So they
is
just
actually,
they literally
he
just
is
brought him
actually in it, but he doesn't. Like,
appear.
he doesn't actually continue on with chasing, like going all the way down to the Battle of the Five Armies.
Yeah.
By the actual thing is, supposedly, like Tranduil went, so Legolas stayed back to look after the kingdom.
Okay.
So that's it, and where like in the movie it's like,
Oh yeah. Cause
oh yeah,
that
I'm
was
gonna,
his father, wasn't it?
yeah, that's like he's the Elven Prince of Mirkwood. But
And like, are they a
it's just
specific?
weird.
Are they a specific type of elf? It's like is it a light elf, wood elf?
yes, there is different types of elves.
Yeah. So
You've,
what was her
um,
name? She was the one-
Galadriel,
Gladriel.
Lady of Light.
Yeah, that Gladriel and the name
Go
of that
outside!
Gladriel and the name of Gandalf's sword. Very similar names there, aren't they?
Galadriel and Galadriel. Yeah.
Yeah, very similar names.
It's really funny as if you actually, when you watch The Hobbit, you see how much of a bond they actually have with each other.
Mm.
It's a scary bond. You're like, them two were up to something. Yes, exactly.
But it's weird, like,
Somebody
Can
in
you
the royal
only-
family knew somebody in the royal family.
yeah. Can you only imagine if some people talked like, you know, like the way some of the elves do in Lord of the Rings, like, Carl, again, give us the name again? Of the woman.
Oh,
Kate Blanchett.
yeah, look, you literally just
Gladriel. I just didn't want to. I
Gladriel,
didn't want to get mixed up with the story. Yeah.
When you just say, give me
You
a name,
have
I'm like,
people on Twitter just like hating you now. It's just like, it's this way. You have to say it this way.
That's what you go safe to say, Kate
Sorry,
Blanchett.
excuse me.
just use your actual name.
Sorry, I can't pronounce the name of a language that I don't speak of Elvish.
English.
Elvish. Gladriel would be Elvish, obviously, wouldn't it? If she's an elf.
It's not actually.
Did you just assume?
Oh my god! Don't you say it.
If you actually tried to say her name in Elvish, you'd never be able to.
No.
Not even gonna even bother.
No.
I never even bothered to
No,
try
no,
and
no,
learn
no.
Elvish.
Well,
It's
I
so
think the
hard.
only thing I can say in Elvish is like what, speak friend and then enter, and that's what, like Bella or something like that.
Oh yeah. Where Frodo's like, it's a riddle. It's like, really?
Friend.
Lord of the Rings friend. Token friend.
Ah, Token would be there, yeah.
Oh, that's
I just
funny.
get a picture of fucking Clerks too.
Yeah.
Saying
Lord
that
of the
actually,
Rings
that,
geek.
that door, if anyone's played the War in the North, it actually you've played. Yeah, Eric
That's
has.
good.
You've played
Okay.
it. I think you've dabbled
Yes.
in it. But basically, that whole thing with being what's his name, Celebrimbor. He was like an elven smith.
Mm-hmm.
He
Creating the
crafted
original
the
ring.
actual rings of power, like the ones for the dwarves, the elves, men.
Right.
Where Sauron, who was actually an elf, Sauron is, who actually carried the ring of power in secret.
I thought that was supposed to be the right that was in like Shadow of Mordor. Spoiler alert, by the way.
It's been long enough, guys. Don't worry.
Yeah.
It's not a
I was
spoiler.
gonna say it's not a spoiler anymore, man. No, did you know how like in the games it's Sauron has a few different forms. He's actually an elf, but as he starts going into his darker,
Sauron's an elf.
that
Really?
that Yoki, do you know that like suit of armor thing he has?
Yeah.
That's not him.
That's just the whole his essence.
That's not even that. That's actually just like a spell that he has a craft of armor on.
Ah.
His
So, like, he-
actual thing is he is an elf. He's just a dickhead who turned evil.
So is he actually like? Because that's the show in The Hobbit where he's kind of bursting out in the flames and you see the eye. So is he that?
That's his, he's actually not the. That's not an eye. That's just an essence.
Yeah. So that's him on top.
Yeah.
He's literally he's constantly standing there. It's like, where the fuck did I put that thing?
I dropped it somewhere. I just can't remember.
It's always got a last piece.
I need the keys for the black gate. I can't get in.
There, trolls, open the gate. Who are you? Oh shit! I don't have my passcode.
I read it on the ring.
And I lost the fucking ring.
Actually, I have a question for you. Since you've all seen The Hobbit,
Okay, fair away.
do you actually know the 5 armies that were actually there?
Elves, dwarves, man wasn't there. Was man there?
Yep. People lived there.
Obviously orcs.
Yeah.
Goblins.
Goblins, yeah.
Nope.
No, not goblins.
No,
Your man?
Animals.
it's actually It's,
Animals.
apparently, it's supposed to be the Eagles is the fifth.
The Fifth Army.
But they,
Fifth army.
they were only in it briefly though.
No, but they were
They're
actually there.
goddamn birds!
Apparently, that's like not everyone was arguing. Like to this day, it's still argued who is the fifth army, and it's like between the Eagles, goblins, people because they say goblin mercenaries in the actual movie, or is it gonna be? They're like, oh, who else could you point at?
Something
It's
else that they could add.
And then it's like, yeah, whatever.
Now, one thing I'm happy about is the fact that we got to see Azog.
Yes!
El Manu Bene. Gotta love that guy.
You know what's really funny though? Like in that whole movie, it's all Azog. Azog died long before that battle.
Yeah, it's his son that pursues or something like that. Thorin, isn't it?
No, it was King Dain, Ironfoot, who killed Azog at the game at Moria when they tried to retake Moria. When Thorin's dad got killed.
And that's where he got the name Oakenshield.
That's in the movie how you got that.
No, but so like at that battle in the actual book, that like Azog.
He dies there. He dies in that battle. King Dain kills him. They win that battle, and they look in to the gate, and they see the battle rog in the distance, and they be like, yeah, literally, it's literally like, no, I'm out, boys, guys.
I'm gonna nope the fuck out of there.
Like, I love it, like how Lord of the Rings, the actual Lord of the Rings movies tied in with the books, how it's like the Mines of Moria, but they're like the Bridge of Khazad-dûm, because that's the actual name of that realm is Khazad-dûm, and it's like where the original one, one of the dwarfs woke up in Mount Gundabad and came down, and from Gundabad and actually fucking stayed there.
How can you remember all these names?
Playing the game.
You know what I'm saying?
This is what he's fucking like just.
Dude, I literally.
Stop. We should have stayed home today.
Yeah, you're just in the corner, like.
See, I knew like once I got this fucking topic going, he'd be more enthusiastic about it.
I mean, like
I did
I've
teach
watched
myself some cool stuff.
I've watched lore videos, but I haven't watched them on Lord of the Rings. I've watched them on Alien and I've watched them on Predator. Which, you know, for those who don't know, aliens are called xenomorphs and predators are called, if I can pronounce it correctly, Yautja?
Yamcha, yeah.
Or
Yeah,
Yamcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, it's like Y-A-J-A-C-H-A.
Dragon Ball. Yeah, shit.
What, Yamcha?
Yamcha.
What's a Yamcha?
Oh.
It sounds disappointing.
One thing first!
It never works.
Nope.
Just brush it off. Like, what was that? That is child's play.
What would have been a battle, or say two characters you would have liked to see fight each other that didn't?
Oh, wow.
Even if it was like a spar or kind of.
Even if it was a spar, yeah. So
Oh, that's easy. Actually, I would have loved
Boromir
to see.
and Aragorn.
Yeah, that would have been one I would love him to see is Boromir and Aragorn.
that would have been a good one. Yeah.
I would love him to see Faramir and Aramir from Rohan. Like the two of them having a little like.
I love
sparring.
how we're picking the good guys to fight the good guys.
The good are good guys.
Oh look, can you remember most of the Yorks' names?
No.
No, but no,
Exactly.
you do.
Seeing how you
I know a few, not all of them.
seeing how you said it, it's like you brought up Boromir. What is the most Boromir thing you've ever said?
One can simply not open a fucking door in silence.
Yo. What about you,
That's
Carl?
hard.
It's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's actually.
Although I
that's
do
quite-
agree
that's
with one of the memories popped up on my Facebook feed this morning. It's just like, just happened to answer the question for me. I was like, oh, deadly. One does not simply leave their friend logged in on Facebook without making them look gay.
Yeah.
It's fucking
You never
true.
go wrong with a phrase, what?
It's fucking true.
Yes,
You
yeah.
can't. You can't just walk by it.
Yeah.
And I fucking got him great with
Yeah,
it.
you got me one day.
2 days straight. He didn't
Yeah,
even
you
know.
can't have it. As I wasn't, I just never really looked at
He
him.
did not know. And he was wondering why people are fucking getting in contact with
There
him.
was 2 people. 2 people commented on that.
No, but they sent you messages as well.
Yeah, they were just like, "Did you get raped?" I was like, "Yeah, I did."
Most have if you're texting me.
Then you realise he sent me a message it's like, fuck you.
Oh, man.
I got you good. But yeah, like, oh, fucking.
Yeah, no, like for like the Lord of the Rings topic, there's so much to go on.
yeah.
It's amazing. Like
When's it coming out?
there's
Set-
no actual
There's no
dates.
set,
There's no-
set
there's no
date,
It
release
says
date,
to be
like.
announced,
but I
but it's
think
supposed
they
to be
might announce
yeah,
for next year.
Yeah, at some stage next year, the series is. But like, hopefully, it gives us a bit more. It'll give people, like, this like who didn't actually read the books
Mm.
more kind of grasp on what exactly happened and how it all transpired.
And give them a better understanding. It's like,
Yeah.
alright, I might give Lord of the Rings a look now,
Who's this,
or
who's
The Hobbit,
that, yeah.
you know, like things like that.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Don't know, because I definitely want to watch it.
I'm looking like it's gonna be amazing.
It'll be
Like, we
tough
get
for me
to
to
see-
get in.
As far as I know, we're gonna see Aragorn's father in it.
Yeah, because they don't really
Yeah.
mention. The only thing you know about Aragon is that he's a Seal Lord's heir, but you don't really know much.
He's a
about-
Seal Lord there, not the Seal Lord himself.
Exactly.
No, there's a few
Right.
things.
And
Son
they-
of Brain.
Actually, speaking.
How do you fucking, like, dunno,
What was that name you just said?
I was trying to say Frayne.
What the fuck is Thrain?
I can't do it.
The rain.
Dunno, like,
Thrain.
the dwarfs. Dunno.
It's just son of
Thrain.
Thrain. It's just you're just putting a lot more emphasis on the H.
Yeah, no, I can't.
It's weird.
I can't do
They're
it.
putting so much emphasis on the H.
It's,
Cool.
shut up. I knew that was coming.
The whole evening
Um,
is ruined.
The whole thing you were talking about, like with Aragon, you actually hear they tell you his father's name. That's it, pretty much. They don't give you any lore or anything to his background.
Alright, so you're saying, but you said there earlier on that, like, obviously Strider's not his real name, so is Aragon actually his real name?
No.
What is his real name?
That name was given to it. But that's like his
That's his
name.
ranger name or
Like,
something like
no,
that?
that's his name. But he was raised in Rivendell by
But the elves.
Yeah,
Elrond,
he's
who
one of
adopted
the-
him, who actually adopted him as a son. So he's actually Elrond's adopted son. He grew up with.
So he's basically sleeping with his stepsister?
Nice!
Essentially, yeah.
it's a picky one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like,
Yes,
what's the whole thing that he was gifted with long life? Like
He's
in
a
the movies,
Numenor.
yeah, he's like what? He's 97 in the movies.
He's he's his bloodline is the blood of Numenor. So basically, all the people of the line of Numenor get get gifted with
Granted
longer
longer.
life,
Alright.
but they don't live as long as like of elves. No, our wizards. They live as long as about 120, 150 in around that kind of age.
Yeah, because
Once-
like if he's like he's not, I think he's like 97 or 87 in the
He's
movies.
like 80 something.
Yeah, like,
87.
Once he reaches, it's like with the dwarves. Like when they reach a certain age, that's when they really start to show. Like,
100 an average lifespan of a dwarf is 150 years.
yeah, so like,
Yeah.
whereas you
And
get some
elves,
that
what's their lifespan?
Nobody actually knows because they go to they sail off to the unknown lands.
so you never get a distinctive like answer for.
Well, Elrond
like,
himself is like
definitive
thousands of years old.
Thousands of years old. Like they can live to be thousands, and then they leave.
Dang.
That's the
Literally.
That's
He
the gift.
moisturizes.
Yeah, yeah.
Is Keanu in it?
Maybe he.
But
I reckon he just pulls a cord and there's...
Yeah, just
showers of
Another
moisturizer.
question for you. Now, more of a... It'll go off into a tangent, a few little jokes, but was Gandalf actually just trying to say to them, it's just like, use the birds to go over to Mordor with the like, final line, fly you fools.
Fly, you fools. Or run, you fools.
Can you only imagine like the off-screen conversation he had with like Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli after he came back and seen them in the forest? Just like, oh, so how are the other ones? Just look, did you choose the birds? You didn't. I told you to fly. He's saying
that bit where he says "fly you fools" is basically like kind of like the slang, and we have leg it. Like it'd be like run. Like,
Jesus.
Get the like
Fly.
get out here.
Fly. Get out of here.
Like,
Well,
that's what that is.
well, we do use that. I mean, it's just like I have to fly.
Yeah.
But it's just like I
Who the
wouldn't.
fuck says that? I don't say
You have to fly.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you have to fly. You have to shoot.
Like
Yeah, shoot's different from flying because you're not saying fly.
yeah, but like
I have to
people
fly
do
off.
say like I have to
Well,
fly
there
off.
you
I have to
Yeah,
go.
fly off.
So like, hang on, let me give me a helicopter here and start up.
Someone there chasing
question,
him
though.
down.
That was a really good question.
Yeah, it's just because I've seen that before. Like I've seen that before. Like there's a lot of questions I've always asked because like, as I said, like because I like my movies. I love flying. Yeah, I flying potholes.
I'm blind.
Yeah, flying. Yeah, you never heard of flying?
Does this hat make me look flying?
But I like. I keep saying finding now since I've said it, but like finding plot holes. There was another one that I was trying to think of as well, and it didn't really make a lot of sense to me. It was how the hell did she get to Rivendell so fast?
Who? Arwen.
Eowyn, yeah.
Basically,
Because like at
that's
one point,
bullshit
Yeah.
because it's not her.
it's not.
In the
It's a
book,
different
it's
person, though, yeah.
it's a completely different. It's completely different.
Wasn't she played by Steven Tyler's daughter?
Yeah.
Yes,
Liv Tyler.
Liv Tyler.
Yeah.
But in the books, it's actually
That's in
That
Armageddon, she was.
yes, she was. It's like,
Mm.
that in the book, it's actually like, do you know how they're out in the forest and then like she stumbles upon Aragorn, and she's like, "I've been searching for you," which is really funny because it's actually in the book. It's
He's looking for maintenance. That's what it was. She was just looking for him and she's like, you owe me 5 pieces of gold. Come on.
cough it up there.
Where's my money? Where's my money, Brian?
It's just like, is this man's gold?
It's no.
I want elven gold. Come on. Now.
You
Gatekeeper.
cheap ass motherfucker.
What's the currency exchange rate?
And I would like it's funny when like you find like you actually find them plot holes where it's like that wasn't you weren't there, this person wasn't there. Like there's a lot of plot holes in it
Yeah,
that don't match with anything.
Yeah, like there's probably, like from what I've heard as well, that even in the books, like that journey from the Shire to the something horse?
Prancing pony.
The Prancing Pony. I knew it had something to do.
In the town of Bray.
Yeah, that was actually like a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
In the book. But in the movie, they make it out as if it's just like a couple of hours. Like,
Yeah.
like that. I just find that a little bit mad. And like,
Joys of Hollywood, boy.
yeah, time travel. telling you.
Fast forward, click.
And that's being generous considering that like the entire first film is the majority is just walking.
Yeah, can you imagine if
Do you know what's really funny?
if they really like kind of expanded those out? Because you've seen how they turned The Hobbit into 3 movies, and that's just one book. So imagine they done that.
Oh
Each
god.
one of them.
That'd
I
be
mean, like
tough.
if they done that with 2 Towers, that last movie would always just have to be the Battle of Helm's Deep. The entire movie would have to be.
But
the
say
Battle
that
of Helm's
the Battle of Helm's Deep is actually it wasn't amazing. Like it wasn't like even the movie sequence was unreal. If you read the book, it doesn't happen like that. Like most of it does, but you know the fact where like Ermir and like the Rohirrim come down the side of the mountain,
Mhm.
they're already fucking there.
So they're already at Helm's Deep.
Yeah, like the whole fact is that he went off to find he found them, but there was like do you know how there's like fuck all of them left at the end where there's about 20 horses and next one there's like 1,000,000 of them appear.
Yeah.
There's about fucking 500 horses already there still.
Well, that's actually another plot hole that I noticed, because when you see the Riders of Rohan up at an earlier point where
Some of them have pikes on us as well in that scene actually. Like you think about what, like I said, 20 of them come out of the fucking room, and they're there swinging away. Some of them Muruk-hai have breathing pikes. How the fuck did no one die?
Yeah.
oh the plot hole
Many did.
the plot hole
No,
I was coming out with is that when the Riders of Rohan were banished from Rohan,
Yeah.
and they come across like Legolas, Gandalf,
The tree hunters.
but like there's only maybe about 20 of them, and then later on there's hundreds. Where the fuck did they come from?
It's actually, what's really funny in that bit is it's supposed to be the company, like his company
Right.
of riders decided to all stay together, and that was only like a small portion of what you see. The rest are off killing orcs, trying to basically take back Rohan, and like they're off in different places because
Wormtongue and stuff like. Was it Wormtongue?
Wormtongue
Yeah,
is
Wormtongue.
he was like a peasant from like Rohan and all, but like Ermir, when he's off, he's actually a lord of a part of Rohan, like elsewhere. It's like Eastern Fold or something like that.
Oh, so it's
he's-
not just that one kingdom. There's obviously like another part.
Well,
of it.
Rohan is basically broken into like Ireland, how we have counties,
Yeah.
where it's like you have.
County Rohan.
I
Call
live
that
there.
Roscommon?
That's brilliant.
Very
I like
good.
that, I like
Very
that.
good.
But yeah, like it's all broken up. So is like Gondor, all them are all broken up. Like
Alright.
in the Fellowship where Frodo got stabbed on Weathertop, where it's like it used to be a great watchtower, like Kings and all, when Aragorn's court and all that stuff.
Mhm.
That's the northern kingdom of Gondor that they're in. They're in Arnor.
Oh, okay. But that's just completely decimated now.
It's
Like
it's fallen through because this is what this TV show is gonna look at.
Right.
It's gonna go to the how the kingdom of Agmar came about. You know how Gandalf and all in the Hobbit he says, "If that fell kingdom should ever rise again," and they're at like Gundabad where like Legolas goes, and like Balg is standing there like calling out.
you speak in German or something.
Gundabad. Yeah, it's like it's gonna open up on that how the kingdoms of Gondor fell apart, basically.
Right, so you know the lore, you know the weapons, you know the whole thing.
No, you only watched the movie
It's
once.
just like, what race would you like if you could be any kind of race out of
Dwarf.
Dwarf. He can speak dwarf. He sings in dwarfs. He does everything in dwarfs, man.
Really?
He does.
Well, what would you go for, the dwarven weapons or would you go for elven weapons?
Dwarven, all day long.
Really?
All day long.
I thought the elven ones were supposed to be better though.
Minecraft based on his exploits.
Like actually in the movie and all, they actually say like dwarves are great crafters of like
Well, they were
yeah.
up until they lost the mountain, and then like
No. They still had other kingdoms.
Man knows his own history. Don't fucking.
It was just that, but like
Do you know how it says?
Don't
Like,
trigger him.
you know when he says there's like
You just
7,
assume.
like 9 rings to the men of power,
yeah.
7 to the dwarf lords.
So there were 7
There's
kingdoms.
7 kingdoms. There's a whole separate kingdom past, like far past Mount Mordor
Mhm.
to the east. That's separate, like just wandered off to the east and apparently found the caves or mountains like way off past ruin and everything.
So did they ever go into like what's beyond Middle Earth?
Yes,
And what is beyond Middle Earth?
first age and second age. That's what's gonna look at how it became like.
No, I mean like because you know how they always have like
Oh, that map is just like that, like little kind of like
yeah.
corner.
What
You
is
get it
beyond
bigger.
that? Like what is beyond that? Does it ever
They
go into
a
that?
little bit, but it's more in the books.
Yeah, because like I know the Shire isn't part of any kingdom.
It is.
Is it?
The Shire is a part of the kingdom.
Which kingdom?
Arnor, the northern kingdom of Gondor, basically.
Right. So Legolas, or sorry, not Legolas. Aragorn would then be.
When Aragorn
Yeah.
becomes king, he becomes king of Gondor, but he actually rebuilds the northern kingdom. Like, and basically, what's really funny is Merry and Pippin actually become Wardens of the North.
Really?
Yeah, they become.
I would not trust them at
Samwise
all.
Gamgee actually becomes the mayor of the Shire.
I knew about that part, but I would not trust Merry and Pippin because they'd just be up on a watchtower smoking gillyweed.
Yeah, and the salted pork is particularly good. And they'll start singing. It's just like
I like that little reference that they throw in, where like Gandalf's kind of snapping at Merry and Pippin's like, "Have you been smoking that gillyweed?" I see what you did there.
That's Gimli, like, is really funny. Salted pork. I love that bit. It's just
Or
like,
even was when they were in Bray and they're there, it's just say he wants to like have
cheese.
not have their drink, then you see he wants
fuck
to.
me. When Mary comes over,
he's just
it's
like,
a
"Whoa,
pint."
this is a pint, that's a pint.
I
want
want
one.
one. You had a whole half already. Like, if you watch it, like, the Fellowship of the Ring is really funny because do you know that song they sing at the start of it?
Yeah,
Right,
that's what
it's-
Bilbo Baggins hates or something like that.
No, that's the Hobbit. That's in the Hobbit, that is. But in the it's like they're when Frodo, Sam are in.
Can
the,
you sing it, Carol?
I fucking can't. I'm not all this. So fuck off. They're all just sitting there, like they're all just basically
Locked.
shooting the breeze and just having a few points and all.
Listen to the wind.
Yeah, but like it's after Bilbo left. Like you see it in the extended edition. I don't know if you see it in the normal edition. I can't remember. But like they're up there singing, alright. But then they in the not 2 hours, the Return of the King, at the very start of it, they're actually singing again, and they're just continuing on that song. It's like, really, you travelled all that time just to finish the fucking song there.
Wasn't it a case of like after Lord of the Rings, Aragorn made the Shire a no-go zone?
Actually, yes.
So,
The whole thing is he
like,
made
it was
it
under protection
of
no one
Gondor,
was
of
to
the
disturb
Kingdom of
it.
Arnor. Basically, what's really funny is that the dwarfs had done that before then.
I've always wondered though, like, not way obviously like when the Fellowship of the Ring and all that went up. What actually happened then in the Shire? Was anything touched at all?
Yes, it's not touched in the books. It's not in the movies.
Mm.
But when Frodo, Sam, and all them when they returned, the Shire was actually under Orc control.
Damn.
Do you remember in the Fellowship of the Ring where he looked into the
Yeah.
mirror and he seen a burn? That actually happened at that stage. It was being attacked.
That's what was
Yeah.
actually happening.
It later becomes that, like, when Frodo, Sam, Merry and Pippin returned, they fought off. Like, they
The
rallied
remaining
everyone and
orcs.
fought off all the orcs. And with as far as I know, with the
elves.
it's either going to be dwarves or men. I can't remember specifically. Like,
They came with
Yeah,
them and
and
helped
forced them, like, kill off all the orcs and stuff like that, or goblins, one or the other. And but it's just, it was like you missed out a big chunk of that. That would have been great to see.
But like Aragorn did make it like where it's like no one could go in without
Yeah, it was the no-go zone
without him being this like not
without permission, basically.
So, what did they leave out of the movies that you would have
a
liked to have seen?
fucking
A lot.
But like that, you specifically, like, what was a scene in the book that you would have loved to have seen in live action? Like,
In which Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit?
either.
The Hobbit, there was a lot that they missed out on. But like the movie, I really enjoyed The Hobbits. I don't care what people say. Like, oh, it's three movies. Don't give a fuck. They were great. Shut up. Enjoy the movies for what they are.
One thing I didn't like about The Hobbit though was the fact of, remember the special arrow that had to be used.
Oh, to kill Smaug.
Yeah.
Oh, the black arrows.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bleeding ballistic thing.
Do you know how in the movie they actually say that it was his grandfather who made that mark in Smog, and he's using the windlass, the big fucking ballista fucking arrow thing. That used to annoy me because on that it has two bowstrings where it's like you have a bow coming down the middle and another one across it, so it's putting a hell of a lot of power behind it, and he's just going, I'm gonna stick this in here, and pull this string across. You don't move, I'm gonna fire this arrow and get him right in the fucking spot. It's like, bollocks if you could pull that one string that fucking far or hard to hit that spot dead on. It's like, I know you're an amazing like marksman and all, but fuck off. Like that how far back he was,
It's an
that would have snapped.
unrealistic fucking like.
Yeah. Like that thing that he was using, like, is a fucking like ballista basically.
But even without that, like,
But if you look how far back he has that pull and the length of that fucking arrow, it's like, mate, that's gonna snap.
but the fact that they made it out was like he only has one shot. Like one shot, one fucking opportunity to get this fucking thing.
Sees everything you ever wanted.
Exactly.
You capture it, or you
There
just
you go,
let it
there's the
slip.
fucking reference. But like the fact that like, oh yeah, it fucking shoots it, misses, that's it, you're fucked. Oh no.
You miss it, you did.
That should have been just the end. It's like just arrow misses, smug looks, and then it just flashes to them. It's like, oh, just put the black.
Oh, I can only imagine now if there was someone strong enough, like say if they got a giant or something like that, just give them the black arrows, just like, you see that dragon
Stop.
over there, just stab
throw
him.
it.
Just stab him.
See
you
that
know?
dragon
Give him a
there?
little prick.
He stole your dog. Whoa!
I never actually knew, what was the whole deal with, like, was it giants or giant trolls or something like that they turned to stone in daylight?
Trolls.
Oh,
Cave
trolls.
trolls.
Cave trolls.
Cave trolls, yeah.
They will
Mountain trolls are different to cave trolls. So cave trolls, if they're out in the daylight, they
Right.
turn to stone.
Okay, did not know.
Mountain trolls and attack trolls are completely different. They're like basically hybrids. Like mountain trolls are much bigger and stuff like that. And you have giants as well in Lord of the Rings, and you also have stone giants, which is kind of weird. The stone giants thing threw me off a lot. Or so did oh look, there's a walking tree. Who can throw a stone and destroy a fucking city?
Taking the hobbits to Isengard.
That was
Probably the
brilliant.
best thing.
That, yeah, it was one of the best things ever.
Here's a question for you.
Okay.
So, what kind of creatures are the spawn of Ungoliant?
The what?
Ungoliant. Are the spawn of Ungoliant.
Yes, Carl.
Fuck off!
He's like, finally, I stumped this motherfucker.
Oh fuck! You have actually. Spawn of Ungoliant. Fuck.
Can you spell it for him?
Is the answer there?
Yeah, I have the answer.
Oh, okay.
He's not seen it.
Trying to think because there's so many enemies.
Yeah, no.
I'm like, is it spiders? Is it this? Is it? I'm trying to basically. In my head, I'm going, fuck, what is it?
He's panicking now.
Yeah, I am a little bit. I don't know the answer to this. I'll punch you in the face.
I'm just waiting on the count.
Your time is up. You are the weakest link. Goodbye. I actually can't think of it. I'm gonna just say spiders.
You fucking jammy pass.
Yes!
Ah!
I knew it! Fuck yeah.
It's
Try to
giant,
drop me a curveball.
giant
Yeah, go
spiders. Giant spiders.
Giant spider. I was trying it because it was in the actual. It's more in the game. The is it the first the Shadow of Mordor. They actually they mention it because Shelob's in the game.
Alright, here's
That was a
another.
good question.
Yeah, here's
That
another.
nearly fucking stumped me.
It was supposed to. Who was Eleanor Gardner, also known as Eleanor the Fair?
Tom Bombadil's wife.
What?
Tom Bomb. Oh, no, actually, yeah.
Bottom Hill or something like that, is that his name?
Tom Bombadil's wife, is it?
No.
Bottom
That's
Hill.
actually he's apparently. If you play the games, he's in the games, and he's actually in the books. He's actually the most powerful person in Middle Earth.
How does that make sense?
He outranks Sauron, he outranks Gandalf, and he outranks all the wizards. He's apparently just
The creator or something like that.
unreal. He's the tank of Middle Earth, basically.
He's the one.
Oh,
Literally.
and his name is Tom. His name is Tom. Jesus.
Do you know what's
Tom's
hilarious?
Come and get out of here.
Oh no, here comes Tom Bombadil.
when he spawns in the game, his thing is like Bombadillo, and it's just like, oh, for fuck's sake, shut up.
Bombadillo.
Is that
It's just a weird
that
That
your
sounds
answer?
like a weird
that one
fucked up
stunned me.
Pokemon.
Alright. Yeah, the answer is actually she is the daughter of Samwise Gamgee and Rosie Cotton.
Oh yeah. Fuck.
Damn.
Tom Bombadil.
There you go.
That would have stunned me because
Where does Bombadil come from then? If
Bombadillo.
Well, then-
Armadillo
He's-
man.
No, but it's just
basically he's like
no, but it's just like Bombadil. It's just like why isn't it Gamgee?
Sounds
If
like
it's
Was he
something
a
Oh, yeah.
Rastafarian or something?
no, Tom Bombadil is completely different. He's just a different character.
let's just go by that.
Can someone pass me the lambless leaf, man?
Lapless.
No,
Oh.
Bombadil.
That one actually stunned me. Oh, fuck. I know that one. That's a rarity. You hear her name.
What was the bridge of Khazad-dûm?
The bridge.
Oh,
Yeah, you
just
said this
answered-
earlier.
I said it earlier. I already answered
Did
this
you?
question.
He
didn't
did,
you?
yeah, he said it earlier.
Ah, fair enough.
It's a bridge in the Mines of Moria, or in Khazad-dûm. It's not actually a bridge. It's supposed to be like a.
Gateway.
It's actually like it's a defensive thing. They made it skinny enough that only one person could walk across it. So if an army was attacking them,
They could only come across one person
one at a time, and archers could just literally lay into them, or like all you'd have to do is put your guardians, as the dwarves call them, or like their shield guard guys, just stand there, and just hold the bridge. So your archers would just mill them out. It's like, well, this is an easy fight. What are we having for dinner?
Salted pork.
Salted pork.
Stand Barrog.
In regards to the games, though, what? See, you're saying that I love them. I love the games. I love them all. It's like, what was your favourite one?
Really?
Out of all the Lord of the Rings games.
Well,
like,
at least
Really?
what ranks really high for you?
The Lord of the Rings
Right.
Battle for
top
Middle Earth.
five. Top five. There you go.
Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle Earth 1 and 2. Top by far. Return of the King, 2 Towers, and then it would have to be the Third Age. And then one North after.
I would have thrown a Shadow of Mordor in there somewhere. 'Cause that was a
They're
great.
technically not,
They're not canon, but still
Yeah.
a good game.
but they're amazing games, but I prefer the older games.
Mm.
I don't know why. They're just way better.
I haven't played enough of them to play. Have
Or
a
maybe
top five, like.
like the Fellowship of the Ring wasn't a great game.
Yeah, because
At the time it was good.
it was a struggle to get out
Yeah.
of Poxy Shire.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Ah, the stealth system was broken.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was so bad. Like, but I think one of them.
The Hobbit game was very good.
Yeah. What do you mean? No, which one? The Lego one?
Nah,
Yeah,
nah, the actual.
Although that was-
game.
Like-
it was.
That was done really well, though. The Lego
The
one.
Legos there, I was doing really well.
War in the
Conquest
North.
was fun.
War in the North is. I loved War in the North. Oh, Conquest! That's.
Conquest
Yeah.
was very good.
No, Conquest, would you really class that as a. What kind of a game would you class that as more of?
Battlefield.
Yeah, would you class it as like a more Battlefield game?
Yeah, Star Wars, like
Yeah.
Star Battlefield.
Yeah.
Well,
Battlefront.
Battlefront,
Battlefront, yeah. Yeah, it's really fun to play. It's just
Yeah.
like.
But yeah, War in the North is like the first one that actually like went through from
That was
start
just
to
such a
finish.
game.
Yeah, and
That
they
was
Such a good game.
like War of the North gave you like a different like while the events of Lord of the Rings was happening,
It's the
this was
war,
also
what
happening.
happened
Yeah.
up in the north.
Dunno.
Yeah,
Do you not put the Third Age in your list now?
You did.
Did you? Yeah.
I actually really enjoyed the Third Age.
Third Age.
I thought it was really good, especially to the fact is
It's turn based.
not even that. It was very Final Fantasy in that way, but it explains certain characters who are actually in this fucking story.
Yeah.
In like the books.
Why
but
they're
not.
just randomly there.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
Like sure, there's
I completely forgot about the Third Age.
the Third Age.
I remember it
Do
now.
you know,
yeah,
the cap? One of the captains of Gondor,
because I remember.
Barentor.
Yeah.
He's actually in the fucking stories.
But like I can remember like one of the specials that like you get your say like a special meter up,
Mhm.
and then like the ranger could just basically do that, and there'd be like a hail of arrows. Yeah, I remember that now. And you'd literally you'd just be walking around, and all of a sudden,
It's like
battle.
fucking Arrow Valley, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it was very like Final
Can you
Fantasy.
actually imagine be like in the game if that was actually a story and some guy actually just has a group of archers just miles in the back and he just does the thing and everyone's like, Why are they over there and not here fighting with us now?
They're only good at long range.
Or literally
Suck
just
at
like
short
he's
range.
just standing there just because of that points. It's like there. It's like
Deadly
he
accuracy.
could be
as well.
pointing
It's
at
like-
anything.
It's like the thing from 300 where it's like, our arrows will block out the sun. We'll fight in the
fight.
shadows.
Actually, speaking of 300
Like,
as
fuck
well,
you.
like, that was actually a real quote from that was
Yeah,
supposed to be
was it?
said like by a Spartan soldier, because when he was told it's just like, oh, our armies are so vast that our arrows will block out the sun, he's just, and like he was happy about it. He was just like, oh, we'll fight in the shade then. It's just like we need a bit of a break from all this hot sun kind of thing. It's just, and apparently as well, like they were schooled, like Spartans were schooled in like comebacks.
Mhm.
What was the one of the comebacks?
No! You did it wrong!
No,
Repeat after me.
one of the comebacks was just like,
Your mum.
well, it's just like even like the Spartan women, they were skilled in it as well. And I think it was supposed to be like Leonidas' wife or something like that. She gets asked, it's just like, oh, how is it that a woman can dictate at a table of men? It's just like, because only Spartan women give birth to men. It's like, oh,
To
yeah,
warriors.
like,
She
oh.
said she has no nipple!
And then
Wouldn't it be a weird twist if it was like Hor that did the iconic thing? It's
Yeah.
like, this is Sparta! Boom!
Leonie
Dude.
Headey just.
Do you know
Sorry.
that bit was completely improv?
Yeah, of course it was.
That actual thing is like he says this is Sparta, but he's only supposed to say it. It's like this is Sparta. And
Could you
apparently
imagine
both-
my
Yeah,
hands
he
are
was
sitting
supposed to
there,
throw him, like,
fucking-
just grab him and throw him.
Throw
yeah.
him. But then like they were all, the directors and all were saying that it's not working. They wanted to get rid of it out of it completely, and he went, "Hang on, let me try something one more time." And he just went, "This is Sparta," and they were all like, "Yes." It's like
More of that. More of it.
Well, fair play to
fucking
Jared
Jared
Butler.
Butler is
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah,
I love
fair
that
play
guy.
to him for hiding his Scottish accent for once.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you ever
that-
see him do
Although-
an Irish accent?
You don't hear it coming out on the Phantom of the Opera either.
That's very true. That is very true. I forgot he was in that.
He's the Phantom.
Yeah, I just
Yeah,
forgot.
Antonio Banderas did that on Phantom of the Opera.
Yes,
I
he did.
showed you that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Dom. Let's pass the microphone to you, and you could tell us everything. Then come on.
If only he
Antonio
knew.
Banderas sung Phantom of the Opera with Sarah Brightman before. That's it.
What else you got me?
Yeah, I
How
had
much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
Depends
Jimmy
on the axe.
cracked corn, and no one cared. Why did I write a fucking song about it?
Jimmy Crackhorn. I don't give a fuck.
Why you writing a song about it? You don't give a fuck. Obviously you do if you're writing a fucking song about it.
What does it exactly mean by crack corn?
Don't know.
Crack corn.
Popcorn?
Mm-hmm.
Got a bit of corn. Cracked it.
Cracked. Cracked it. I don't know. But yeah, I had more questions, but they're freaking
Ah, you can get one more. in.
they're
Go on.
online,
They're online.
What do you
Yeah.
mean they're online?
as in like they're in my messenger.
Ah.
I didn't write them down.
Ah.
You suck.
I didn't write them down.
Ah.
Meow 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 meow. What?
Oh,
What-
actually, I have a question for the trees in
What?
regards to like the Lord of the Rings.
Right away.
He might get it because he's hearing me say it. Do
Don't
any
even try to like get us to say fucking like.
no? Do you know when Gimli and Legolas are fighting in Lord of the Rings or in the battle for Helm's Deep?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know when Gimli's standing on the top of the wall and he's like calling out the numbers of how many he has?
Yeah.
Where it's like 21, 22. Do you know what he actually finished on in that battle?
Like over 100 or something like that, wasn't it?
Nope.
I think it was 50. 53? 55? Something like that.
It's really funny that, do you know how they have this rivalry constantly? Where in Pelennor Fields, even when like they're like, I'm like, he's like,
Still only counts as one!
yeah, they're counting as like, and Legolas just going by going 1, 2, just counting all his arrows and all. But yet, in Helm's Deep, apparently Gimli got more than Legolas did. Where it's like, how the fuck does that dwarf who could barely see over the wall get more kills than an elf with a bow and swords.
5 minutes ago, you were
It's
talking
like-
about how
Because
dwarves
they
are badass.
glorified the shit out of fucking Legolas.
Yeah.
That's why in the
Orlando
film.
Bloom.
But it's really funny. Is like that. You're like, why didn't you give him that glory?
Do you know what I find really funny though? Is that the fact that the actor who plays Gimli is actually the
Tallest out of the whole cast.
Out of the whole cast.
Out of the
yeah.
whole cast, yeah.
Yeah.
That's hilarious when you look at that video, that photo of him all. You're just like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, like,
And he's the smallest in the whole damn fucking movie.
did you hear about like when they were making The Hobbit that Sir Ian McKellen broke down?
Yeah.
Because everyone was supposed to be like significantly shorter than him, he had to do his scenes separately in front of like green screen, and he broke down crying, saying it's just like, this isn't why I got into acting.
Yeah.
Like, it nearly made him want to quit.
Did you hear about he'd always carry the Hobbit book with him, and if there was a part in the movie where he'd be like, if someone said something, he'd go over to Peter Jackson and be like, I think we should use this one direct quote from the book, and basically be like, you're doing this fucking thing now, and it makes
He's
it
a
a lot better.
gatekeeper. He actually he made sure that they kept as much as
Yeah.
possible.
As much as
But
possible.
obviously he couldn't overturn everything.
It's true.
Well, I liked one little thing as well. Is just like that the people that were in the Lord of the Rings movies, they kind of basically became a family then afterwards. And those who got a really close connection, they all got like, it was just something in Elvish tattooed onto them. Was their names in Elvish, or I don't know what it was.
No, it's actually from the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, but like,
Yeah.
is there a certain word, or is it just a random Elvish lettering?
Actually, I wouldn't be able to tell you that. I've
Like,
seen it.
One cast member of all of them gets
Yeah,
that.
there's usually yeah.
What was that? It was like one of the, like Peter Murray or Peter like that. Well, like Ian McKellen even has